So I want to do something on the credits here, which kind of sucks because I've already completed this one now, but that's okay. We leave it right like this. Perfect. Actually, I got to pause my music again. No, I'm going to leave background music. Nice nondescript. Hopefully doesn't get me DMCA'd background music, you know? So yeah, somebody was asking. I basically did a video with my thoughts on the credit grind in this game, which I think is a bit crazy. Mainly after your dailies and weeklies. So the main focus of my the video I'd put up was that once you're done your dailies and weeklies, the only way you're gaining XP is every 2,000, or the only way you're gaining credits is every 2,000 XP, you get 500. We did the math and it was something like 200 games you'd need to play just to get a basic operator, like $100,000 credit operator. So just to get him, it would take about 200 games. To get a 200,000 operator, which I need to find one quick. Right there, it would take about 400 games. So that's crazy. That's a crazy grind. Now somebody asked, actually I'll pull up the question, or I don't know if it was necessarily a question, but right here, this comment, pop this up real quick. So they said, thanks for the interesting video. I too am new to the game. It's been about 3 or 4 days for me and I'm really enjoying it. Have you looked into the PvE matches as an easier and quicker means to get credits? I wonder if that makes the grind more tolerable. Maybe completing daily, weekly, and chartered objectives significantly reduces the grind time. I know chartered objectives give you 2,800 credits. That coupled with the daily and weekly objectives, plus the 2 to 4 matches per day where you get rewarded credit for XP, should significantly lower the grind. It would be great if you could look into that and let us know, because I could be totally wrong and way off. I'm still new. So I did kind of cover that in my first thoughts video. You absolutely want to do your dailies and your weeklies whenever they're available, because you need to. The grind otherwise, you're gonna not get anywhere. It's too much of a grind otherwise. So we'll look at weeklies first. Weeklies, you got the 3 tiers here, right? So you just have to complete a number of these. The nice thing about the dailies and the weeklies in this game is, for the most part, they're just like play the game. These things will all complete as you just play the game. They're really not difficult to complete. Win a battle in any mode, deal damage to an opponent. It's nice to have objectives that are just play the game, not like play medic and only shoot things in the toe with your pistol, and you gotta do a 360 before you do that, and then you gotta like not play the actual game. You gotta go over here and do jumping jacks. I hate objectives where it like completely pushes you away from like the normal gameplay, you know? So it's nice that these offer, you just play the game. You don't really have to focus on doing these. They'll just complete as you're playing. Eliminate bots, revive a teammate, restore HP. And the nice thing is too, is there's like 40 objectives here. That might be the right math. It might be 40, it might be more, it might be a little bit less, but you only have to do 20 of them to complete all the tiers. So anyway, yeah, you absolutely want to be doing these. You get 30,000 for the first tier, 30,000 for the second tier, 30,000 for the last tier. So you get a total of 90,000. Still not quite enough for an operator in a week. And that's basically like a fifth of a level, or not of a level, but in terms of leveling a character to 15, it's about a fifth of the way. But I mean, it's something, right? So absolutely do your weeklies. You get some of these refund points too. I mean, they're nice to have. I haven't used any, but they're nice to have. But the main thing is you want to be doing these for the 90,000 credits a week. Absolutely do these. You have to if you want to get anywhere. Now with the dailies, same kind of deal. They're usually pretty easy. I play one game and I'm finished my first tier. The first 4 tiers are very simple. It's super easy to do these. There's no reason not to. The only time it starts to get a little bit tricky or a little more difficult is when you get to the final tier. I can't refresh them right now, but there are 3 specific ones I'm always looking for that are a little bit more doable than the other ones, especially with stuff like win a battle in special operations mode 5 times. I have not won a single special operations, so trying to do these as a method of finishing these is kind of brutal. So the 3 I specifically look for, and this is going to start pushing you into PvP. All the rest of these you can do super easy doing PvE stuff. I do point sweep. I just fly through the objectives doing point sweep, and then once I get to this last tier, I'll switch over to PvP doing showdown. But the 3 I look for are this one right here: single-handedly incapacitate the entire team during a round and win. Again, not easy. Like I think I'm a decent shooter player, but this can be tough because you have to kill an entire team of 4, meaning you either need the entire other team to suck and you have to get to them first and kill them all, or you have to hope your team sucks and that you can hold off 4 of the enemy team by yourself. But this is one that's at least somewhat doable. So that's one of the ones I look for. And then the other 2 I look for, one is you have to win 3 showdown matches without dying, which it can be doable. It can be tough, but it can be doable. This one's not terrible. Win a battle in showdown mode 10 times. It's a lot though, so that can take a bit to grind. And then the last one I look for is this one's probably the best one, is incapacitate 20 enemy players. Can't be bots, it has to be actual players. So showdown mode, you just play, right? And you only need to down 20 people. That one's probably the easiest one to do, so that's the one I focus on trying to re-roll for, because some of these other ones, like again, win a battle in showdown mode 10 times, it can take a while. And then some of the other objectives, the PvE ones, are just difficult. Like eliminate a Juggernaut bot with your secondary weapon. So the Juggernaut bot, as far as I know, can only be found in the frontline mode. And he's like the heavy bot that opens up in the middle at the end. And the problem with this is you now have to try and kill him with your pistol, while your team, or potentially the other team, are also trying to kill them, meaning you have to try and last shot it with your pistol. It just seems like way too much of a headache to try and do. But yeah, those are the 3 main ones I go for: single-handedly incapacitate the entire team, win 3 showdown matches without dying, and then incapacitate 20 players. That one I think everybody's going to be able to do. Even if you're not the greatest shooter player, eventually you'll get kills. And then for people that are a little bit better at shooters, it's not going to take you that long. It usually takes me maybe 3, maybe 4 matches to try and get the 20 incapacitations. Obviously that's going to depend on your team too. If you've got a good team that everybody's contributing, it might make it take a bit longer, but it's absolutely doable for everybody. But we're going to do some quick math here. I think I've done the math before, but I forget off the top of my head how much you can earn. But again, you absolutely want to be doing your dailies and your weeklies every week when they do come up, but your dailies absolutely. So with your dailies and your, well, mainly just with your dailies, the dailies are going to have premium objectives. So if you're premium, you're going to get these bonus too. So I'm going to do the math first without premium, because eventually I'm going to run out of premium. This is all free premium I've gotten from just whatever Twitch drops, just playing the game, that kind of thing. I'm up to 16 days at the moment, and I've been playing for a week or so. So yeah, this is just all free premium, but eventually you're gonna run out of premium. So I'm gonna do the math first with how much credits you get for doing all your dailies without premium, and then we'll do the we'll add on the premium as well. So for each tier, there's a set number of main objectives, and then there are the 2 premium objectives, right? So it changes from tier to tier. So the first 2 tiers, you've got 3 main and 2 bonus. And then here you got 4 main, 2 bonus. This has got 2 main, 1 bonus, and then 1 main, 1 bonus, right? So let's do the math. We're gonna trust the old calculator here. So that's the other thing too, is each objective has their own set amount, right? And then the stage reward, when you finish them all, you earn this. Now, I think you just have to finish objectives, finish enough objectives to make up for the number that are in your main reward, main objectives, right? So you need 3 here, 3 here, 4 here, whatever. Because I believe I've done the premium objective first and still got the completed thing. So like say here, for example, you've got the 3 staged awards. You might do this one, you might do this one, and then you might do this one, and that'll give you the bonus. I think that's how that works. Just do all of them. Just do all of them. You want as much XP as possible in this game, or as much credits as possible in this game. So just do all of them. But I think it works somewhat like that. You do 3 out of all of these to get the actual little bonus credits. But let's do some math here. So 1800, oops, that's too many. 1800, 2000, 2000, oops, I messed it up again. Plus 1800 plus 2000. I probably could just do 2000 times 3, but not going to. Did I hit plus? Crap, no. Okay, so first stage, that's 7,800. That's right. 7,800 for the first stage. I probably could have just mathed that without a calculator, but that's okay. Plus, did I hit plus again? I did not. What did I say? 7,800 plus 1,800. Plus 2,000. Plus 2,000 plus 2,000. So that's 15,600 plus 2,700 plus 2,250 plus 2,250 plus 2,250. One more. 2,250 equals 27,300 up to stage 3 plus 2,000 plus 2,500 plus 2,500. So we're up to 34,300. And then the last stage plus 2,500 plus 5,000. So 41,800 if you do all your objectives as a non-premium. So not quite half a base level 100,000 credit operator, but again, it's something. And then if we add on the premium bonuses plus another 2,200 plus 2,200. And we'll just do it stage by stage here. So that brings you up to 46,200 plus 2,200 plus 2,200. That brings you up to 50,600 plus 2,500 plus 2,500. That brings you up to 55,600. Another 2,900, which brings you to 58,500. And then lastly, another 5,800 equals. So in total, if you do all your objectives as a premium, you're going to get 64,300 a day. So, I mean, that's getting close to 100,000 operator each day. So you absolutely want to be doing your dailies. And again, your weeklies as well. That's another 90,000. So you definitely want to be doing both of those. I don't know. I'm not going to do any specific math in like how, I mean, it's going to take you 2 days to get $100,000 operator. And then you're going to have a bit extra there. You're going to have like 30,000 extra after that first day, or the first 2 days. You get an operator. So the problem is then you're going to have to start putting currency into leveling those characters. And to level a character fully, I believe it's something like 420,000 credits. So it's a lot. That's the biggest grind for me is leveling up characters. Now, so after doing that math, like the credit that with the dailies and your weeklies, it's really not that bad. The grind to actually earn operators really isn't that big of an issue. I have no problems with that. I understand again that they need to make money, and that's kind of their main selling point is buying operators, because there's so many. If you want them all, you got to start shelling out, and that's totally fine. My problem is, as I said before, is that for one, after you do your dailies and your weeklies, there's just like the grind just feels terrible. Again, the math I did before was you have to play like 200 games to earn enough credits for like $100,000 operator. That's a lot of games. And it just feels like when you're grinding outside of like your dailies and your weeklies, it feels like you're going nowhere. I don't like that feeling. I don't feel like my time feeling like it's not really contributing to anything. The dailies are fine because they're nice and quick to do. Perfect. Love it. But once you get into this grind, it just doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. And the biggest issue there for me is the game doesn't feel deep enough that it's rewarding to grind. So I come from playing stuff like Rainbow Six Siege, where every game feels different because of how things are set up, different site setups. You have to attack sites differently. There's just so much more strategy and depth to it. For this game, the strategy and depth to me are within the operators and trying new operators, trying new abilities and stuff like that. But when you're restricted, like I've been playing for about a week now, and I have 2 supports, 2 medics, 1 marksman, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 assaults. And most of them aren't really leveled up. So I have 1 maxed out character. And that's about it. And then just like scattered XP everywhere else. And that's all I've been able to afford. And I've been doing my dailies. I've been doing my weeklies every day, every week. But the leveling feels like a huge grind. And for me, that's a problem, is like when I get to the point that I'm done my dailies and my weeklies, because I don't have a ton of different operators to kind of experiment with and try out new things, I just don't feel the incentive to grind. It turns into a mobile game at that point for me, where I log in to do my dailies and then I log out and that's it. I move on to a new game and go play something else. And for a game that doesn't have a big player base to begin with, I think that's bad. I don't think that's a good thing. Again, that's just me personally. Eventually we get to the point where we do have more operators, but that initial grind, I feel like you want people to get to the point of having a bunch of different operators quicker, because then they're more committed. Once they have those characters, it won't feel like as much of a grind because you can switch it up. You got, let's say, three of each class. You could play each of them in ranked. You can try new things. If you get bored of playing support, you can go play assault. If you get bored of that, you can go play medic. You have options. And once you have those options, there's a little more incentive to actually grind, you know, and stay in the game and play it. But early on, I think it's going to deter players. I really do. I think the credit grind is going to deter players because they just don't have options of stuff to play. Now, I could forego leveling and just buy operators, which I'm kind of sort of leaning towards a bit. Like I just bought Odin. I might put some XP into him just to get some attachments and whatever. But then I might hold off and start saving for another operator, just again, so I have some variety. But I feel like the leveling system itself just feels kind of bad. Like every RPG, every game where there's where you level characters, you just play that character and you level up. Simple as that. To me, it feels really bad where I grind a character. Like this guy's at level 9 right now. He has the XP to be level 9. But then I gotta go back and I have to spend money to now apply it. It just feels weird. Like, again, every game I've played with characters that level, you level up those characters, the end. But it just feels really weird to level up these characters and then just be too poor to actually put points into them, and not even necessarily be too poor, but you got better things to put those points into. Velour is an example here. This is a character I had no interest in. I don't plan to play medic. I'm more of a PvP guy, so that's my focus. But I have no interest in playing medic in PvP really. But I really liked his personal skill. And so that meant I had to buy him. He was 150,000. And then I had to get him to level 12. I don't know the exact cost that it takes to get to level 12. But it was a good chunk. It was at least an operator, maybe two, worth of XP or worth of credits that I had to put in to level him up. But I just feel like it's a really weird system, especially because it's so expensive to level a character up. It feels really strange. I have a lot of characters that I just play to... There's so many thoughts. So that's the other thing too, is like now I feel like I'm wasting my time playing him maxed out because I could be playing a different character and getting XP for them instead to try and get them to max. But then I can't level them. So it just feels weird. Now, from what I understand, if you do play a maxed out character, the extra XP goes up here to the extra XP. But then you got to pay paid currency to apply that to any characters. And it's expensive. Like looking at this guy, if I was to click this button down here, I have to pay 294 coins, real currency, to apply 5,873 XP to get to the next level. I think that's what that is. Let me look at some other characters here. How far can I go? Before it was showing like a bunch of levels. 9,500 to level 11. I don't know. Either way, I'm never going to use this. I'm not going to pay real currency to apply the XP that I've already earned. I'm not doing it. I already don't like the fact that I have to use credits to pay for the XP that I've already earned. It's silly to me. I would feel better if they even doubled the amount of XP you needed per level, but like just let you play the character, earn the XP, and that's what it just automatically unlocked for you. You didn't have to pay anything. you just earn the XP like in every other game and didn't have to pay to then apply that XP. It feels really strange to me. But yeah, I like the game. I'm gonna keep playing it, but honestly, it's probably just gonna be like a mobile game for me where I log in, do my dailies, and then move on to another game. I just don't feel like the game's deep enough for me to want to like grind it out. And it's kind of a shame because again, for a game that's already kind of got a small player base, having your players not really stick around to play feels weird. And I'm not gonna go over it too much because that's kind of a separate video. But I also find ranked to be kind of not done very well. I haven't done a ton of games, but the 5 placement games I did, I think I lost like 3 or 4 of them. But I was like the top point earner, damage dealer, kills, whatever. I was usually the top, and I got placed silver 3. And that's fine, whatever. But the gain, it's another not very enjoyable grind. The most I've been getting in a game is 8 to 10 points. So I'm at 374 RP right now. I need to get to 599, 600 technically to move up to the next rank. Gaining 8 to 9. I forget what I was at when I did the math. I was at like 300 and something, 360 something maybe. I would have to win 27 games in a row to move up to gold. That's a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot. And that's like, if you lose, you're now losing. So it's going to double how much you need for each loss. Not overall, but like it's going to set you back. I don't know if I've lost too many games yet, but from what I hear, you lose more than you gain. So it might really screw up the math. But again, I come from a game like Rainbow Six Siege, where early on in your season or whatever, the more games you play, the less you gain, right? So it kind of filters you. So you start off by earning and gaining a lot more, right? So you're kind of bouncing around a bit more. But as you play more games, that slows down and you gain and earn less. So it kind of filters you more into a spot, right? I feel like something like that needs to be the case. So again, my placement matches, my 5, I think it is, 5 placement matches, I might have lost 3 or 4. Again, I feel like I did really well, but it placed me silver 3. So now I have to grind like a maniac to get out of that and progress. Not that I'm saying I'm the best player ever, but I feel like grinding Apex, grinding Siege, I've always been a diamond platinum player. Obviously, this is a different game, but I feel like I'm kind of up there, you know? But to have to grind like an absolute maniac to get out of silver 3 feels kind of rough. It feels kind of rough. And it doesn't really incentivize me to want to play that much. I really just do my daily. I play once for my 1 daily win and then I just move on. But yeah, that's a whole other thing. But it's just to point out how I feel about the game overall, where there's a lot of grind for no real reason other than to be grindy and to, I guess, incentivize people to buy credits. But I don't know. I'm personally not a fan of that. I would rather see them offer some cool skins and stuff and use that as a way to make money rather than taking what the main focus of the game is with operators and really restricting people there. Because again, I don't think this game is deep enough, especially for me when I'm mostly just playing Showdown, where it's just kill the other team. I don't think the game is deep enough to grind the same couple operators in that. I'm going to get bored. To me, the appeal is playing different operators, trying out different abilities and that kind of thing. And I think early on, not having those options is what's really going to drive people away. They're not going to want to sit through that grind to maybe get some operators later on. But again, that's just my opinion. Time will tell. Some people are happy with the way the grind is right now. But I don't see it doing that well without some sort of change. And the nice thing is they have done some changes, some good changes from what I've seen. So it used to be that reserves. So like I have 10 and 10. Let's just go with stims though. I have 10. If I was to go into a game right now and play, when I use a stimulant, that number is going to go down, right? So I use it once, it's going to go to 9, 8, 7, whatever. But once that game's over and I go into a new game, I'm going to start at 10 again at the start of the game. What I heard and what it sounds like is that it used to be that if I had 10 stimulants and I went into a game and I used one, and not just that one, so I'm down to 9 now. Once that game's over and I start a new game, that new game, I'm only going to have 9. Then if I use a few more, go down to 7, leave that game, go to a new game, I'm going to start with 7. You used to have to buy these and top them up with credits. So I think that was a very good change because that just seems tedious and just another addition to the already kind of grindy credit grind. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that they take stuff like that into consideration and are willing to, you know, take the economy hit and just make the game better for players. Because again, at the end of the day, if people aren't playing your game, you're just not going to make money no matter what you do. And I think you want to try and keep people in your game. And again, I think a good way to do that is to just kind of lower that grind so people can afford more operators. I don't think you need to have every single operator. I think that's for something that's for veterans that have been playing a long time. You'll get there. But having options to play different operators, again, like the amount of XP it cost me to max him out, I could have bought 2 to 4 more operators to try out and just mess around with. And I think that's just more appealing. I think that would be way more appealing, especially because like if you pick an operator you end up not liking, like I don't really like Aphila, that's wasted currency. So I've got the 200,000 invested into her just for buying her, and then however much it cost me to get her to level 10. That's kind of just sitting there, and I don't really want to play her. So yeah, I think early on, kind of pushing people to have more operators and more variety in their gameplay is probably the better play. But that's just my opinion. It's not really my decision to make, but that's just my thoughts on it.